Alright, so how did I get here and where was I at before I purchased this monitor? I had a BenQ 1440p high refresh rate monitor. Originally, I bought this monitor for gaming with my PS5 back in 2020, so it was never intended to be my main MacBook display. I didn't even have a Mac at the time, but since then, I've gotten a lot more into content creation, and thankfully, I was looking for ways to reinvest back into my YouTube channel. And I will admit that I do like tech. I wanted a monitor with better colors, better brightness, and overall just better compatibility with my Mac, because let me tell you, this BenQ monitor sucks for that. Like, there are just so many minor inconveniences with macOS that make this monitor awful in terms of compatibility. Don't get confused, the monitor itself is not awful. Actually, it's kind of been pretty good, but it does not work great with a Mac. Just let me explain. So earlier I mentioned this monitor was 1440p. Okay, that's the resolution. So you would imagine that I would select 1440p in the resolution settings on my Mac, right? Nope, Macs don't natively support 1440p. It's in the list of resolutions, but it looks awful when you actually select it. Everything is just kind of so small and it's unusable. It's not scaled right, and I don't know why it doesn't let me make everything better, but at that resolution, the only resolution that I can select where the scaling of all the icons and everything looks normal is 1080p, which is fine, but then I can't select the higher refresh rate that my monitor supports. It only goes up to 50 Hertz when my monitor can go all the way up to 144 Hertz. Again, why Apple? I could just select a higher refresh rate in the 1440p resolution, but then I have that scaling issue that I mentioned. So all around, yeah, it's pretty frustrating and it's way more complicated than it needed to be. I get that there are third-party tools out there that fix some of these issues, but again, I just keep asking myself, why? I shouldn't have to download an app on my Mac so I can use my monitor correctly in the way that it was intended. It just doesn't make any sense. I tried the third-party options for a while, but eventually it just stopped working. So I gave up on it a while ago, and ever since then I've been using my 1440p 144 Hertz monitor at 1080p and 50 Hertz. So it would work somewhat decently with my setup. It's not the end of the world, but still, it should be better. And that actually brings me to present day when I started to look for displays, and I just kept thinking about the recently announced Apple Studio Display and the Studio Display XDR. I watched quite a few videos on YouTube about them, and in terms of a display that's just best in class all around for a Mac, which is the only device that I'm going to use this monitor with, it seemed like kind of a no-brainer to buy an Apple display. So let's actually set this thing up. There's no doubt these displays are expensive, but basically what it came down to for me was that I wanted a one cable Mac display where I can plug in all my extra stuff right into the display. So when I want to dock and undock my Mac, I don't have all of these cables. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 total cables plugged into my Mac, and it's converted now just down to 1. I found myself not wanting to take my Mac to many places because I found it very annoying to unplug all of the cables. There's no doubt that these are first world problems, but hey, it's the world that I live in, and I do use it for work quite a bit. So I know that both the displays, the Studio Display and the Studio Display XDR, function the same, but then which one should I buy? And this is where I will admit I did spoil myself. I wanted to get the tilt and the height adjustable stand on my display. Well, that costs an extra $400 on the base display, but it's included on the Studio Display XDR. One thing that I have discovered about myself is that when it comes to tech, I do tend to buy the best of the best when it's available, but then I will keep it for quite a few years. Since I'm not going to upgrade my display for a while, yeah, it hurts at first, but I'll buy the more expensive one. So basically what it came down to was that I could spend an extra $1,000 to get the display that will truly be future-proof and will hopefully last me a very, very long time. So that's what I did. And it arrived the next day, shipped in this massive box that came from FedEx in all of its glory. And my first impressions while using the display is, wow, I am seeing a different world on my Mac, and this thing is definitely quality. And right out of the box, it just feels premium. Like, there's no way around it. Apple absolutely nailed the design. It's clean, it's minimal, it's all aluminum, and it's super well built. It matches perfectly with my MacBook Pro. You plug in one cable and boom, everything just works. There's no weird scaling issues, there's no messing with the settings. That alone is already a huge upgrade from my old setup. Like, look how fast this display turns on when I wake up my Mac. With my old computer, it would take like 10 to 15 seconds for the display to actually wake up after I start using my Mac. Is this a huge deal? Probably not, but again, it's just an example of how the Apple devices work very well together. But does it actually look that much better? I think the short answer is yes, it absolutely does. Going from essentially what's a 1080p display to a 5K display is a very noticeable difference, and it will definitely help me more accurately color correct and color grade videos, and it just gets a better feel for what I'm actually editing. Since late last year, I bought a new camera and I have been uploading in 4K. So I was uploading in 4K, but I myself, when I was editing it, was only seeing 1080p, which seems kind of ironic when you think about it. Like who does that? I couldn't even really get a feel for how my final video looked. There's no doubt though that this thing is expensive and definitely not for everybody. I can't recommend this for everybody. You don't need this display. I only purchased it because I consistently like putting the money back into my channel to make even better content, and hopefully this cycle kind of continues. It made sense, in my opinion, for me to buy it because it's an expense for my business that I've created, which is this YouTube channel. If you don't have something like that and you just want a nice looking display, there are plenty of other options for cheaper. And if you still want an Apple display, the Studio Display is good for a lot of people, and you could save some money that way. So if you've been thinking about it, upgrading your monitor, hopefully this helped you decide if it's actually worth it or if you're better off saving your money. One side note to Apple would be, Apple, could you please just make the non-Apple displays a little bit more compatible with macOS? Will that ever happen? Probably not, but it's something that I wanted to say. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and I hope your day is as pleasant as you are.